Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching For the Record. So this video is more or less an instructional video. It's it's not the only way, and if you've come across this video, you're one, a subscriber and you're just curious, or two, you've probably seen 1.5 million other videos of how to do the exact same thing. This isn't the only way, but I've kind of tweaked this through the years, and this is what works best for me, and I think you might agree by the end of this video. As you can see, we have a dust cover here, okay, and it is quite foggy, scratched up, okay, and we are going to get rid of that quite easily, actually. So let me say this. There are other ways. I'm going to kind of talk and kind of go off on a tangent here and there, because there are other videos out there that'll tell you you should use 1000 grit, 2000 grit sandpaper, and go over the whole thing with that before you get started. Well, that's a waste of time, because all you're doing is you're causing more harm on the dust cover. Now, if it's really bad and it's really gouged, then yeah, that might be appropriate. But what I would do is I would start with using the Scotch-Brite side of a sponge. Okay, I have one cut up for several different things that I do, different projects. I would start with this. It's aggressive, but I mean, it works. And actually, what it works really good on, excuse me, is say there are stickers or there's glue left over from a sticker on the dust cover, and you can't get it off with soap and water. You can do this. You know, you're going to end up scratching it, but it's scratched anyway. But you do not have to go over the whole surface of the turntable to cause more harm before you get started. We are starting just like this, okay? And what you're going to need is, one, the Scotch-Brite pads, okay? You're going to need you're going to need regular, just car wax, okay? Rubbing compound. These two products work for me. I've been using them for the past couple of years, and whatever brand you want to use is fine, but Meguiar's I like. You're going to need Windex, regular Windex, nothing special with vinegar, just regular old-fashioned Windex, right there, original. Excuse me. And a rag. Now, what I found is you don't want a wet, saturated rag, but a rag sometimes just damp. Just damp. Kind of helps. Okay? So the first, let me see if I can get all this in here. I'm going to move some of this over. Okay? Alright, the first thing you want to do is grab your Windex. And sometimes you're going to see an improvement just with the Windex. You're just going to rub it. You're just cleaning, or you're just prepping the surface right now. Flip it over. Again, using Scotch-Brite or sandpaper just to even the scratches, it really doesn't do any good, because you're just causing more harm to the surface. Now, if the surface is really that bad and it's scratched up that bad and it's dinged and scratched, then maybe it might be a good start. But for this, where it's just foggy and scratched, what I call minor scratches, you really do not have to go over it. Okay, so we just, still obviously foggy, but it's a little bit of an improvement. Okay, step 2, we are going to use car wax. Now, I just did this on a couple of my turntable dust covers, and one of the dust covers, I used it for my on my backup or my secondary turntable, it was quite scratched up, and there were a couple of stickers or glue left over from stickers that were on it, and I took the Scotch-Brite and gently rubbed off the glue and did this, and it came out looking nearly brand new. Okay, now it does work best if you let it dry. You can put it in front of a fan, or just kind of wave it like this. It doesn't have to be completely dry like you generally do on a car, but you can if you want to. And then just rub off the... You want to rub it firmly and evenly. And what happens is you get a lot of extra in the corners and on the edges. You just want to kind of get rid of that. In the corners and on the sides. Now you're going to find the most difference when you do the rubbing compound or the glaze. Okay. It's still, whoops, it's still foggy, but it's getting there. Okay. You want to look at it, you might want to rub off a little more. And as I said, you're going to find the best or the most difference when you use the glaze. And you can find all this stuff at an auto parts store. There is more than Amazon, but if you so choose, be my guest. I buy whatever I can locally. Alright, that's it. A little bit of a difference. A little better. And not just with the car wax. Now, step 3. You want to put it all over first, kind of like the car wax. Kind of rub it in gradually here, and then you really want to press firmly, a little firmer than the car wax. And the results are incredible. If you find an old vintage turntable at a secondhand shop cheap, you get it running. One of the problems usually is simply the dust cover just looks like crap. Really, the best results you get is when you use circular motion. Okay? Let's clean this up here. Any suggestions or ideas that you do, that's absolutely fine. But as I said, this is what I feel is the best way, and I get great results. The most expensive you think you're going to buy is probably going to be the glazing compound. That was about, I don't know, 18 or 20 bucks for that little container, but it lasts a while. And I'm going to be doing a video soon on repairing an actual cracked dust cover. I got the supplies I needed today, and that'll be going up in the next week or two. And I'll show you what that looks like at the end of this video. It's getting there. We really want to rub it in. The way to tell is when you do both sides, and you can almost see some of the glaze. It looks like it's done, but if you put it up to light, you can see a little bit of a haze to it, and you can see where the marks are, and you just need to keep rubbing in that glazing compound. Let's go to the underside. I'm going to kind of rub it in there. Stop rubbing it in. Now I am a little worried because this is a, it has a tint. This dust cover has a tint to it. I've never done this with a tint dust cover before. The ones I've done have always been clear. But I think it's going to be okay. It's getting there, guys. Sometimes you got to put a little bit of elbow grease into it. Now, I will admit, this isn't the best results because I think it's because it's got a tint to it. I think that's what made the difference. But I'm going to keep rubbing to see if I can get it better. See what it looks like. Yeah, look at that. There you go. In person, you can kind of see the scratches. I mean, but there you can see the, look at that, you can see the difference. You know what I mean? And you can see some swirl marks or some scratches. I think that's because it's tinted, but you can see a clear difference when I put the dust cover up in front of the camera, in front of the light. You can see there's, whoops, it looks considerably different and better. And I'm going to show you the dust cover I did yesterday. On my secondary turntable. Sometimes you can put it up to the light and you see swirl marks, and you just need, it's just left over from the glazing compound. Alrighty, there you go. Look at that. You can see right through it, crystal clear. It's a little darker because this does have a tint to it, but This was the unaffected, and this was the affected area. Considerably different. Considerably different. Now, this one I did yesterday. Why I didn't shoot this one? Because I don't have an answer. I don't know why I didn't, but I just didn't. So this one I did yesterday. There's some considerable like marks on it that I couldn't do anything about it, but I'm okay with it because it looks 100 times better than what it did before I started it. Okay, and the next video you're going to see is excuse me, is I'm going to be fixing that crack. Well, this missing piece, I'm not too sure about the actual crack itself, but I'm going to fix that in my next video. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Any moans, groans, or complaints, leave a comment. And I hope this video gets you to resurface your turntable dust cover.